So once Flutter is installed correctly, we can go ahead and create a new Flutter project by going over to our command prompt or the terminal and typing in Flutter create, and then we'll have to type in the name of the project that we want to create. For example, we can go ahead with new app for now. So if I'll hit enter, this should create the Flutter project for me. It's running Flutter pub-get, which is basically trying to get the packages, and it would say all done, which means the project was successfully created. And I can just open the project that I had just created by typing in code and new app. So this should open this newly created project in Visual Studio Code. Now, this is like the basic layout of a Flutter project. You have the Android directory, which stores the native Android code. We have a web directory, which would have the web files, the iOS directory for the iOS, and a Windows directory. What else you'll notice here are some other files, such as one very important file is the pubspec.yaml. This is where the configuration for our project goes. Let us say if you want to add any packages or plugins later on, this is where you will put them in. All the packages go under dependencies. If you want to add like images, you can have assets in your file, assets. You can have assets in your file, you can have fonts. And in this particular tutorial, we'll also see how to add these and also how to change the font of your application. But for now, let us go over to this folder called lib. Inside this folder, you'll see a main.dart file. This is the file we would be working with, or this is the folder we would majorly be working on. The lib folder would contain all our Dart code, which is required to create Flutter applications. When you open this main.dart, you again see the main function, which we have talked about previously. This is the first function to get control, and this is where our application starts. Now, the Flutter team by default has written some code for us, which we can run by going down to run and debug and launching this application. Since I'm working on Windows, this application or the project should launch as a Windows application, but we can also connect our mobile emulators and run it as a mobile app, or maybe run it on Chrome as a web app. For now, let us build this application really quick. If you're working on Android Studio, the project creation process is similar. What you'll have to do is click on new Flutter project and select the different options that you wanted to have, like the Android, iOS, or the web option, and create the project accordingly. So we have the app running right now. This is the default application that all new Flutter projects come with. What it has is a floating action button here, which lets you increment this counter on screen, and it shows you how many times you have pushed the button. What you'll also notice is a small app bar on top, which says Flutter demo homepage. Now this would be same for when you're working on a mobile. It would look a little more compressed, something like this. If you're working on web, it would again be like a web browser setting. But this is the default project that all Flutter apps come as. So starting right now, we would clear out some code from this homepage, and we'll try to see like how some of these elements are modified to create apps of your own. So let's do that in the next video.